and thank you so very much for joining me tonight. I go by Lunate, and what I'm doing right now is just making a little intro to the session. I'm just trying to form the habit here of making intros for the majority of our sessions, because while I'm sure a lot of you are like, okay, get into it, which is why I'm putting the little note at the bottom here, so if you're gonna skip ahead, you know, maybe a visual reference. But for those of you who are really utilizing these sessions as energy work, and that doesn't mean you have to be like laying perfectly still or, you know, some super ritualistic kind of thing, but if you're really tuning into it, using it for reflection, maybe setting intentions before bed or journaling sessions or something, I think an intro to what we're working on is really important. So I'm just trying to break it up a little bit here. And our theme today was inspired by a book that I listened to recently. And it was just a little sentence, it was just a little blurb that spoke of how when we hear something, whether it's directed to us or maybe we're reading it, it can, if it sounds personal, we can take it on as personal. So, for example, if someone that you know said something to you and told you how you were, maybe there's some truth in there, but also sometimes that's just from their perspective. So someone can say, oh, you're too much, or you're too loud, or, you know, like our last session, speak in some kind of absolute, you never finish anything, you never follow through with something, or whatever. I don't know, it could be a ton of different things. These are just what's popping to mind for me. And then we kind of take that on, like, oh, I don't finish things, or I always do this, or I am always having bad luck, or I am always running late, I am a late person. Like, things can be taken on because we're perceiving them as personal. The same can be true, and I speak delicately here about this because I know a lot of us, myself included, are into astrology and all that stuff. Like, it's also something that can be disempowering if it doesn't empower you, right? So if you're reading something about your chart or something about your sign and it is disempowering to you, it doesn't resonate with you, but you're like, oh yeah, I guess like I am a Cancer, so I guess I am a crybaby, you know, or like whatever. It's not exactly truth, right? Like, so the point of our session is to clear these things that we've taken on as some kind of truth because they were directed to us in this personal kind of like consumption, like feeding us this personalized kind of way, not personalized, but something directed that is perceived as personal by us and therefore perceived as, oh, that must be true, or yes, that is about me, and we connect possibly to things too easily. Of course, there's always the other side of the coin in these situations, and it's nice to have some perspective on yourself from, you know, the mirrors that we engage with all around us, other people, communications, books, and all kinds of things. But I also think it can be something that inhibits our like full character development or our full creative kind of like dictator here of like how we create ourselves, and that there are things that just need to be rejected because they're not true. In addition, because I think it would just be a good balance here, we're going to work on clearing projections. So not only the things that were directed or perceived by you that you took on as personal, but also the things that are directed to you that like you don't even know about, like how people think of you, how people view you, kind of limiting ways that people might hold you or think they know what's best for you for that matter, or whatever the case may be. We're also going to be working on clearing those projections, all right? Of course, I am an energy worker, and I do this in a by proxy session for anyone who's interested to tune in, always respecting your free will. And that's just about it. So to receive, all you have to do is just allow yourself to receive, whether you're doing the dishes or taking a nap or wherever you might be. If you just set that intention to allow yourself to benefit from this energy work, of course, in perfect alignment and comfort to you, that is what you'll receive. So we're just going to take a quick little break here for our sponsored video, or sponsor portion. Just please get comfy, get yourself set up, and I'll see you very soon, okay? Thank you so very much to Blinkist for sponsoring our video today. I freaking love Blinkist, particularly when I'm doing something regular schmegular, like driving, cooking, cleaning. So let me please take you on this journey as I tidy up my bedroom here / recording studio and listen to some Blinks on my HomePod here. If you've never heard of Blinkist before, I can't tell you how awesome it is. It basically offers a selection of amazing nonfiction books, and it pulls out the key elements, the bullet points, the takeaway, and puts them into 15-minute text or audio experiences called Blinks. So you get right to the meaty bits of the book quickly. I definitely work through typically 2 or 3 of these every time. Again, I'm like doing the dishes or cleaning up or cooking or something like that. It's really easy to get some really key ideas, some direct and effective ways of understanding these big ideas or things that maybe you weren't introduced to before. This is so helpful for inspiring reflection, personal development, professional development. In fact, I'm often inspired by things that I hear through different books and Blinks that I'm listening to. Specifically recently, there was just a sentence, just a statement that really kind of sparked something for my brain to chew on. And I'm going to be making a video about it, but it's basically about like how when we hear things that are directed, phrased in a personal way, we almost take them on as like a personal thing, like we connect to it. So I'm going to be making a session to support like clearing that, releasing that, because I think that can be a hindrance as well on our character or how we see ourselves. Blinkist is really easy to navigate. It's got a great design and it's super simple to use. You basically just download the app, select the titles that you prefer among your favorite categories, add your picks to your library and create your personalized experience, and then sign up for your Blinkist account. This week, I listened to The Mastery of Love, Hardwiring Happiness, The Fifth Agreement, which is where I got that sentence that I spoke of earlier, and Social Empathy. Right now, Blinkist has a special offer just for our audience here. Click the link in my video description to start your free 7-day trial with Blinkist and get 25% off a premium membership. Expanding your mind and your knowledge is such an important piece of personal development. So whether you're interested in psychology, philosophy, motivation and inspiration, health, technology, entrepreneurship, society, culture, really money and investments, religion and spirituality. There are so many topics, categories, and awesome titles and authors and creators to choose from. Thank you so much to Blinkist for sponsoring this video, and thank you very much, viewers and subscribers. I couldn't do this without you. And now let's get into our session. Start with our candle, as we always pretty much do most of the time, to hold the field and to sort of like, get it started, to get that direction going, creating a sort of tunnel or channel. I think one of the most dangerous aspects of these personal things we view as personal things we connect with, because it's again paradoxical. There's truth in both areas. Say you're wanting to buy a house or move or switch careers or I don't know, anything, and all you hear and see through the media is how hard it is, how impossible it is, how everyone is struggling, and again, very real facts here. But should we take that on before we've even gotten to the gate of now I'm in the market or now I'm looking? You know what I mean? Like sometimes things can infiltrate, and again, maybe it's a advertisement of some kind directed to the area that you live in that is, I shouldn't even say advertisement, but like propaganda or like ways to control you, and you take it on because it feels personal. Like, oh, I do live in South Florida, or I do live in New York, I do live there. That means it must be about me because that's where I'm at, right? So we want to clear that as well, specifically with like your money, with your connections, with your resources, so that you can feel really empowered into, yes, these are challenging times, no one's going to deny that, but there's still so much that we can work with. So we're going to light our candle. On behalf of the highest and greatest good, perfect comfort, perfect alignment, right? Setting intentions to support your clarity, your authenticity, your truth, your release, the rejection of all that is not true to you, all that is disempowering, all that keeps you in some misalignment with your soul or your divinity or your abundance or your love or anything like that. We set an intention to clear projections, particularly those associated with fear, with lack, with control, with manipulation. And we just want to tune into ourselves so we can navigate from the most aligned path that we have, the most true, the most authentic space, creating from that space, trusting ourselves, following our hearts. And if you have your own intention you'd like to set, just have a look at this glow, this flame, feel the warmth. And just direct your intention into that little light. Going to begin the little anointment to work in and access those projections and those personal things we might have taken on. It's almost like a wolf in sheep's clothing kind of deal, right? Like sneaking in, trauma bonding almost, or things like that. So I'm just going to anoint my fingers. Press down in. We're just going to channel through just to soften things up and just trickling down to reach, to untether like a wax or oil, to unclog this sort of bacteria, sort of toxin, something unnatural to your truth, moving through these waves, very gentle. Pushing in, then seeing visions of palm trees, which are a symbol of resurrection. effect, we can call in the flame of resurrection to revive your most unaltered state, calling forth the flame of resurrection to release these false narratives, these falsities. I don't know if that's a word. These manipulations, these disempowerments, these things we have accepted because perhaps we trusted someone or whatever the case may be. Moving through, grounding in. I'm going to focus down below the feet, clearing those channels, clearing those points, letting everything just flow and release so smoothly, so effectively, cleared. You might even feel a warmth in your feet or tingles in your feet or ankle or even shin. Just let it go, let it flow through you. And we're gonna keep this portal open, this channel open, just like you're standing under a waterfall or under a beam of light. Just keep this flow going. Okay. Just gonna do a little scan. The heart is really speaking to me here, really glowing, really pushing. That tells me perhaps some of you who are viewing this are potentially dealing with a hyper-energized heart chakra. I do have a video for that, a session, but what it can equate to is a push so, how can I say this, like a revving engine of wanting to do something for yourself, but it's almost like directed towards someone else and you're put on the back burner. It's kind of the simplest way I could explain it. Like not having great boundaries for yourself potentially. So let's set an intention to affirm our personal boundaries, the needs of our soul, the needs of ourselves, and let that shine and move through you. Just kind of directing that energy of the heart, bridging it through all the other correspondence points as you stand in this channel or lay in this channel. Just moving through. Okay. We're going to do a little clipping. I have these kind of interesting shears. I can't remember where I got these, maybe like Germany or something. Or, not that I went there, but from an Etsy shop. I just thought they were really neat. Like ribbon shears. I often use them for trimming wicks, so we're going to use them today, empower them today to connect with you as an individual and you as a tie to the collective. So as you receive your energy work or perform your energy work here, it's not just for you, of course it is, but it's also acknowledging the tie to the connective to make even bigger ripples and waves in the collective, of course. So we're going to focus in, accessing the subconscious mind. I'm going to focus on my palm as a negative magnet, a pulling magnet to release as we clip. Just trimming away those false things, those things we accepted as some kind of truth or took on. Really deep now to the stuff at the very back of the mind, the stuff we don't even know is there. And just so you know, in case you don't really have a lot of experience with energy work in a way that you know that's what I'm doing, because you obviously are very experienced in it regardless. But I mean, just so you know, if something passes your vision, if something comes to mind, it's like, oh my gosh, I did take that on, or oh my gosh, yeah, my parents used to say this to me and then I took it on, I filled those shoes because that's what I thought I was, or whatever it might be. If it comes up into your vision, if you witness it, just acknowledge it and let it go with love. Don't untangle this knot. Don't feel like it's something you have to work with unless it sticks with you. You know, I don't want to, again, be very one or the other here. Everyone is their own person, right? But most of the time, it's just coming up to be let go of, like, oh, wow, I see that now. Okay, bye. All right, so just in case, going really deep to the back of the mind. The mouth of God, the seat of the soul, I think it's called. Accessing all the way through to the zeal point, and just clearing, cutting, releasing, clearing, cutting, releasing, letting it flow out, flow out, and flow out. We're going to envision just like cutting this change, cutting an outfit, cutting a mark on your back, cutting something away. So I'm just going to go down as if we're just cutting a shell, a membrane, to release you from any role, anything, any facet of yourself that was taken on. Okay, I'm just going to focus down the back of the shoulders. Okay, there we go. Just going to use a little of this. Beautiful wax. Bring the heat. Really hot. And channel through to those spaces. Holding this vision of like a perfect diamond or something, like just so pristine, so clear, so resilient. Because that's what you are. Channeling through to all the spaces that have released, that have untethered, that have unbinded themselves from some facade, from some false personality or character, or again facet. Just clearing and directing to those spaces this warmth, this diamond energy, focusing deep in the subconscious, deep in the subliminal, focusing on your gold, your platinum, your divine qualities, shining, releasing any patina, and just shining, polishing yourself, shining from within, which was really what I saw in the heart, like a big golden orb, just like really jacked up. Just channeling down and through. Right. Can you use a little spray? Which one do we want to use? This is just a relaxing spray, but we're going to work in the aura now, so I'm just going to aim around the back of your body and around the front. Overhead, below feet, in your palm and the other. We're just going to work in the bigger fields here, connecting, releasing all projections. All ways that people hold us if they are not in our truth and beyond in a more empowered way. For example, you can be really going through it, having a moment, having a month, having a season, but a good friend, a good person in your life will always hold you in your empowered state, not your disempowered. All around. Clearing. 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 And we're going to sweep it away with my selenite wand here. Okay, so I'm going to walk behind you and comb down your back first. Just clearing all projections as they do accumulate in the back. All the way down. And I'm focusing as if I'm making contact with the physical form. From the back of the head. Down the neck. Shoulders. Down the spine. All the way to the floor. Okay. And I just have a smaller one so I can move through closer to the face, a little more precise. Combing through, clearing. And I'm just gonna go as if we're reaching right into that center point of consciousness and just sweeping away any lingering particles. Okay, back to the big one. Go all around your auric field. Just again clearing those projections supporting you. Because of course, what other people think about us doesn't mean crap, but it can affect us when we're in a lower point, when we're going through it, when we're doubting ourselves, because we will from time to time, right? Just go to the back again. Really going around the aura back here, really clearing, sweeping, releasing. Focusing below your feet, pulling a field through you like a double helix through, allowing yourself to be fully supported in this earth experience. Balanced, held, blessed, paid, loved, fulfilled. And then over your head, pulling through. Again, the double helix through your body. That intelligence, that connection to all, clearing all depressing notions or thoughts or feelings of isolation or non-importance, or too important for that matter. like too much pressure, I mean. Clearing all of that, just totally aligning with your divine state. Down into the earth. This is this nexus point between worlds. I'm going to be using these stones. This is I haven't done it this way in a minute, so bear with me. Yeah, cool. So this is a Rutilated Quartz, or an angel hair quartz, sometimes known as. You can see those golden hairs. It's a bit of a pale, smoky color. So I hope you can see. I love this one because it's so raw. I'll just put that in my pocket. Okay, and we'll come back. And we're going to charge the stone and just move through you, sweep through you with the correspondence, the intention of you and that divine communication, or your communication with your divinity, with your perfection, with your acceptance, with your empowerment, sweeping through, channeling through, channeling, through. Just remember how connected you are. It only takes a moment of silence, in a sense, you know, a moment of gratitude. Right? Similar theme here, as this is another high vibrational stone. This is purple Angelite, and it's super buzzy for me anyway. I don't know how. Oh, that's cool. I'm always amazed here. But there's these really interesting markings below the surface. So cool. And again, similar connection here, similar focus of your, your like high vibrational self, your ability to cast off, to reject that which isn't true. Sometimes people say things, a lot of the times people say things, and they're just projecting onto us. It's not true. It's truly not true. So, we want to really empower your high frequency here, not in an uncomfortable way, not in a way you can't, go to bed with or something, like fall asleep with, is what I mean. But that ability to just blast off, to reject that which is not true, to reject that which is disempowering, to reject that which connects you to lack or not having what you need or whatever it is, or having some kind of defect, or that things are going to be so hard. We're just channeling through the supreme empowerment that you have. moving through your whole body, every cell, every space between cells, every point of magnetism, every orbit, every thought, every function. High vibrational, high vibrational, high vibrational. Through you, around you, in you. Supported. Oh, just so you know, that one was from Monk and Moon. This was from Queen of Serene's shop. She gifted me this awesome pyrite. I don't even think I need the light to show you this one because it's so sparkly. Right on the surface. Well, some kind of sparkle within and need the light. And we want to work with abundance, with your richness, with your gold, with your alchemy. Channeling through this pyrite. Channeling through. Focusing below your feet. Moving through the soles of the feet, up the ankles, up the shins, calves, knees, thighs, hips, into the roots, into the base, stacked. Your relationships, your emotions, stacked. Your ego, your self-expression, your actions, stacked. This wealth, stacked into your heart, your abundance, your fulfillment, your path, your purpose, your journey here, stacked into your throat, into your thoughts, that abundant mindset, that knowing that you are connected, that knowing that you have access, knowing that it's possible, knowing that you're already rich in so many ways, stacked into the mental, the subliminal, your visions, your dreams, your imagination, your playful mind, stacking this wealth, this abundance, stacked into the crown. Of course, never not in abundance, never in lack, always in wealth and having and prosperity and generosity, and directing all the way back down into the earth again as you give, channeling up through you and back in, creating, sharing, received, expanded, working through, swimming all around you, this gold, this playful, sparkly, shifting, pure energy of your completely abundant nature. Alright, so lovely. And similar to the abundance of the pyrite, here we have a flower agate, garden agate, something like that. It's very, very pretty. Hope you can see. Right. And just channeling through, connecting to how you grow, how you share, how you propagate, how you cultivate, how you bloom, how you smell, how you inspire, how you shine, the colors of how you shine, your aura, your thoughts, your energy, your empowered nature, the joy you bring to others, the inspiration, through and through and through. And may I please humbly add and project in the most empowered way to you, seeing you in your most abundant, your most empowered, your most aligned state, where you know who the F you are, You know you're fully capable. You know there are doors and pathways, portals, channels for so much in your life to serve you and allow you to serve others. The garden here, the grace, the peace. Bumping my lights around. And if you would like, just have a little look here. And just vision a floating garden or a secret space just for you to draw, to write, to relax, to heal, to grow, to practice, to create, to work. Just how it all bubbles up, how it all comes to the surface and blooms and is shared in such beautiful ways. Okay. I'm just gonna tap through, just waking up those dormant buds and seeds within you to take over, to spread like moss or ivy or philodendron or wildflowers through, to really just fill you out, protect you, energize you. Almost dropped it. I'm gonna put a little drop on my finger here. Just anoint down from the crown. Down the third eye, the throat, heart, solar, sacral roots. And we're gonna fluff your aura up, out and up. Let this garden spread. Reject all that does not serve your development, does not serve your self-reflection. Because, we can hear things that we don't want to hear, and it's okay. It's sometimes, a little tough love, but sometimes it's not that at all. And it's just a projection. Well, thank you so very much for allowing me to share a little piece of your path tonight. And thank you so very much to those of you in Patreon. I've seen some new signups. Thank you so much. I hope you're enjoying going through the years, like the catalogs that go back years, from long forms to lesson sessions to whatever else is on there that I can't remember off the top of my head. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It really is so helpful, because I'd love to get a different space to make these for you in. Sending all my love, my deepest thanks. Connecting with you has been such a treat, such a pleasure today, and for this whole journey. Thank you so much. From the very bottom of my heart, I bow to the divine in you and I, and to this beautiful connection that we share. So much love to you. I'm wishing you nothing but the very, very best.